Well, this is awkward. I don't have a Mountain Dew with me this time. Screw it, we can't put it off any longer. Number 7. That's right, it's that time again, guys, where we have to review another Land Before Time movie. The 7th in this movie franchise of 14 movies. Now, if you're a 3rd grader who could do basic math, that means we only have 7 left. I don't know if I should thank God for that, or I should simply cry out,
"You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Son of a bitch."
Now, remember in my last review, I pointed out that the first 6 were, at the most, passable. As in, even though they weren't great, they weren't awful either. But from what I've heard, they get pretty bad from this point on, so... yeah. Well, there's no point in putting it off anymore, so let's go ahead and jump right in. This is The Land Before Time 7, The Stone of Cold Fire. So the movie begins, and we find that Petrie is narrating this time, talking about how flyers used to dominate the Earth. And while he's doing this, we see that the animation has gotten a huge budget increase since the last one. No longer bottom of the barrel DVD quality here, now it's top of the barrel DVD quality.
Oh, looky! Farwalkers.
Farwalkers? You've used the word migrate before.
They're a migrating herd.
Migrating?
So we cut to later that night to see Littlefoot wake up and see a large rock hurtling across the sky that's blue. And we see it crash at... oh, come on, are you guys serious? Seriously? There's now a rock that looks like a 3-horn? I mean, what's next? Mount Dinosaur? So the next morning, Littlefoot tells everybody what he saw, but nobody seems to believe him, except for these 2 oddballs here.
Why not the boring beyond, or the, ooh, nothing out here of any interest to us beyond?
Wow, that was fast. The last movie took about 22 minutes to get to its first song. This movie said, fuck that, we can do that in about 1/3 of the time. 8 minutes, guys, 8 minutes. That's how long it took to get to the first song. And believe me when I say this, this is the best song in the movie. Since it's a Land Before Time sequel, that's not saying much, but basically, yeah.
Beyond the mysterious beyond, out where the darkness is the scariest, out where the wonders are the rarest.
Oh, guys, come on. Is rarest even a word?
There's so much more to everything than anyone supposes.
The answers lie inside your dreams.
Here you go, guys, in case this bullshit wasn't cheesy enough for you.
If stars can fall, and rocks can fly, and mountains catch on fire.
Hey guys, there's a volcano erupting. Maybe you want to stop singing and leave? Because I think you're all about to die! So the rainbow faces, yeah, that's what they're called, rainbow faces, talk about what Littlefoot might have saw, saying it was probably a stone of cold fire.
Some say that these stones can shine light without heat.
Some believe they can give powers far beyond our comprehension, heal the sick and other miracles.
Quiet! You're not from around here, are you?
Well, they did come with the migrators, so it's possible.
Then let me tell you how things work in these parts.
Oh, please do.
First, a flying rock is a flying rock.
He is right about that. Regardless of whatever magical properties that rock might have, it's still just a flying rock.
Second, fire can't be cold.
Not yet, anyway. I mean, in the future, sure, chemicals can be used to make fire cold, but until then, yeah, fire can't be cold, so again, he's right.
And third, there is nothing beyond the mysterious beyond.
Well, now he's just arguing semantics, but in a way, you could probably argue that the mysterious beyond is literally everything beyond the Great Valley, so again, he's kind of right. The old racist bigot is right on every account. Just like Bob just said.
And I'm also sure I don't want any ranting rainbow faces filling our young ones' heads with rubbish.
That's racist! But he is right, though. Not about the rainbow thing. I mean, the fire and the magic and all that kind of stuff. You guys get it. He is right, though. So upset that nobody believes him about the Stone of Cold Fire, Littlefoot decides to go and find the rock himself, when he and his friends meet this odd character.
Did I startle you, Petrie?
How do you know my name?
Petrie, I'm heartbroken. Don't you recognize your dear old uncle? Ah, and you must be...
Littlefoot.
But this is the one who claims he saw a stone of cold fire.
Hey, Toronto, you might want to back up a little bit there. I mean, seriously, you're kind of in that kid's bubble, and he's not your kid, so maybe you want to back up. Yeah, please stop touching him and stuff. You're kind of... Seriously, back up, man. On a scale between 1 and 10, you're definitely a number 11 on the creep scale.
But the only way to convince everyone else is, as you say, to go and find that stone.
We were about to go home. Yeah, our parents will be worried about us.
Well, we don't want nobody getting worried now, do we?
They might think something awful has happened to you.
Jesus. I never thought I'd see the day where a Land Before Time sequel would actually teach lessons about stranger danger.
Yeah. Well, we have to go.
Oh, and if you change your mind about going after that stone, I'd be happy to help. Ta-ta!
Guys, what's the prehistoric version of a rape whistle? Because I think Littlefoot really needs one. So Toronto wants to learn more about the stone of cold fire that Littlefoot saw, and tries to get Pichu to divulge any information he has about it. So the next day, Pichu decides to ask Littlefoot about it for his uncle.
What me miss?
Littlefoot is one pointy seed ahead of Spike, and this is Spike's last turn. Oh, we got 2! Spike wins!
Yeah, because if there's one thing in these movies that we haven't gotten enough of yet, it's this tedious bullshit. So Pichu tells Toronto everything he wants to know, and he and his 2 friends begin to hatch a plot later that night.
Anyway, what are we waiting for? We could be halfway to the Smoking Mountains by now.
Yes, with half the Great Valley right on our tails.
Then why not leave right now? Everybody's asleep, and by the time they wake up, it'll be too late to do anything, right? There's also the little fun fact that not many people like you, Toronto, so if you left, not many people would notice. In fact, if anything, they'd be ecstatic.
They have never understood. But soon I will prove I am right. And I shall take my rightful place as leader of the herd, and I will rule over the most beautiful, fertile land in the world, the Great Valley.
Why? Why do you want to take over the Great Valley? Why not just find another herd of dinosaurs who never heard of you, have no idea about your fuck-ups in the past, and just take care of them instead? Sounds like it'd be a lot easier.
Oh, no. I must tell Littlefoot.
What the? Why tell Littlefoot? What the hell is he supposed to do? Seriously, tell a grown-up. In fact, you're standing on one. So, because she was eavesdropping, Toronto takes Ducky hostage in order to keep her from telling everyone about his plans.
What's happening?
Who's that?
What is that? Sharp teeth!
Jesus, these guys are paranoid. Seriously, one person screams and suddenly the entire place is panicking. Like, for real, I could drop something on the floor and they just like...
Sharp teeth!
So after what happened last night, the adults gathered together in order to discuss a plan on how to get Ducky back.
And why didn't somebody tell me Toronto was talking to the young ones?
I thought you would be angry.
Angry? Angry? Oh, I'm not angry. I'm furious!
Yelling is no way to teach your child what is right, or to show that you care.
Man, that is never gonna get old. Never. So the grown-ups decide to tell the kids the story of Toronto and why they don't trust him.
We too set out to find the Great Valley. Then, as now, we made our decisions as a group, no one opinion outweighing the others.
Now wait a minute, movie! So you mean to tell me that the big, groundbreaking thing that happened in the original movie, where all these different kinds of dinosaurs came together in a herd, it was unlike anything anyone ever saw before?
So, the 5 hungry dinosaurs set off for the Great Valley. There had never been such a herd before.
It's not a big deal because the grown-ups did it too? Fine. That's fine. Fine!
But Toronto didn't like being part of the herd. He wanted to be in charge of it. For some reason, he felt that he always knew more than the rest of us. For some reason, some of the herd believed Toronto.
Huh, sounds like how Trump got elected. And when that fucker gets impeached, I'm going to laugh.
Soon, he led them away from the rest of us. They were sure he had all the answers. They were sure he would never lead them astray. They were wrong.
Jesus Christ, someone actually dies in these sequels? Man, that's the darkest thing we've seen in these sequels since... ever. Like, yeah, we haven't seen shit this dark in a Land Before Time movie since the actual Land Before Time movie. I'll give this movie a bit of credit, at least it had the balls to be a little darker than the sequels. I'll give it that much. So after finding out where Toronto is going, the adults decide to... twiddle their thumbs, suck each other's dicks, like they always do.
We can't wait any longer. We have to save Ducky ourselves.
Aren't you forgetting? The grown-ups said the Smoking Mountains are off limits.
Oh, come on. You guys are gonna go, so just fucking go already.
And my instincts tell me we've got to do something.
Oh my gosh, a brother from an animated movie that actually cares about his sister? Oh my god, I guess it's not impossible after all, Sahara. So we cut to Ducky, who's escaped Toronto and his friends, and we find that Toronto isn't as evil as he seems to be.
I was responsible for that little swimmer, and now I've lost her.
Well, give this movie credit for one thing, Toronto isn't the worst thing ever. Toronto is actually a genuinely interesting villain to watch. The fact that he's so convinced that what he's doing is the right thing, and all the wrong things he does to make this right thing happen, is genuinely kind of cool to see happen in a Land Before Time sequel. So I'll give this movie credit for that. At least the villain is genuinely interesting to watch. Now remember, this is still a Land Before Time sequel, so it's not going to be like amazingly well written, but as the Land Before Time sequel goes, it is genuinely okay. So we cut back to Littlefoot and friends who are looking for Ducky in Toronto when we find that Sarah makes this pretty meta observation.
Those vines look strong enough. I'll bet we could use them to walk across.
Oh no, not this three-horn. But every time we sneak off and leave the Great Valley, we end up having to crawl across some giant ditch or pointy rocks or something.
True.
And somehow the only way to do it is if we use some big tipping boulder or rotten old log.
That is also true.
And I always end up at the back of the line, falling off or getting chased by a sharp tooth.
And that is also... Wait, what? When? You didn't do anything like that in the first movie. You went first in the second movie. You didn't do anything like that in the third movie. Ducky went behind in the fourth movie. And Spike got caught last in the fifth and sixth movie. So when the hell were you last, Sarah, you lying whore? So while trying to cross a vine in order to get to the other side of a gorge, Spike accidentally chomps the vine, Petrie forgets how to fly, and they all fall into a tunnel where they eventually reunite with Ducky.
Your uncle is not as mean as the other flyers.
He not?
Everybody has a lot of good inside them, and everybody has a little bad.
Oh god, here we go again.
No one's only black or white. We're pink
And yellow. And green.
You know, I think Pureflix should listen to this song. I think it really helped them out.
Oh, it's just some dumb old rock. We have Ducky back. Everything is fine.
Sarah, what if the Stone of Cold Fire really is a magic thing?
Okay, am I really going to be the only person to ask this question? How do any of you know what magic is? Forget the fact that the rock might possibly have magical probabilities, but how can any of you even grasp the concept of what magic is in your world? Speaking of which, how the fuck does Littlefoot know what taxi driver is?
Do not worry, Sarah. We will find
Surprise, motherfucker!
Okay, forget the fact that she doesn't have teeth and that shouldn't have hurt. Why didn't Ducky do that before?
She's going in the river.
Dead. Yeah, she's dead. I don't care if she's a swimmer. She's like this tall, fell from like 3,000 feet, yeah, she's dead. Are you not a fucking swimmer? But it's okay, because Littlefoot is able to save the day because apparently he's the hero this franchise deserves, and he and his friends are able to escape Toronto and his friends. Oh, for fuck's sake, stop using the James Horner track! You're starting to ruin it! So we cut to Toronto and them, who are hiding out of a storm, when we find that Toronto has to sing a song because it's a Land for Time sequel. Each of these have 3 songs each, and we haven't had our 3rd one yet, so let's just have Toronto sing a song now. What's he gonna sing about? How egotistical he is.
Yes, I'm a very important creature, tremendously brave and strong. I find that I'm frequently right when others are often wrong. Instead of arguing blindly, they should open their eyes and see that the one who will bring them paradise is the very important me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip this. Bye!
Everybody, get inside!
And the Lord said, how the fuck did I miss you in the 5th movie? So Littlefoot and his friends spend the night in a cave right next to a volcanic vent and wake up the next morning to find that they were followed by the Rainbow Faces.
Whenever the smoking mountain heats up, the water, bubbles and shoots up the shaft. Now, if there was something solid between you and the hot water,
It would push us right to the top.
Man, this sounds pretty scientific for a Land Before Time movie with fucking dinosaurs. So, using the power of science, they're able to use a volcanic vent to... One, they had to have crashed to the surface in order to get to the top, so that would have crushed them and killed them. 2, they fell from like 500 feet, they're probably dead. 3, that rock nearly crushed Petrie, so he should be dead. There are so many ways that should have gone wrong, but it didn't. Why didn't it go wrong? You tell me. So finally, Littlefoot and friends find the Stone of Cold Fire, but Toronto and his friends also find it as well.
O great stone of cold fire, it is I, Terrano, the chosen one.
Okay, that's not what happened, but wouldn't it have been a lot funnier if that's what did happen?
I knew it was just a dumb old rock.
Oh, I wanted to make everything perfect.
You no need to fix. Just got to not break.
From the mouth of babes.
Earthshake!
There's the plot device known as an Earthshake. Man, I was beginning to wonder when it'd show up.
Was right. Somewhere inside, you are good.
So, Toronto got his redemption, but he was never really evil to begin with. He was just a really shitty leader who couldn't admit to the fact that he fucked up. I feel like that kind of muddles the message a bit, don't you think? So everyone returns to the Great Valley, where Toronto is forced to pay for his crimes.
Quite frankly, Toronto, your behavior has been inexcusable. But in light of the fact that you helped save the children,
who you endangered in the first place,
your punishment will be reduced. We have decided that you should be banished to the mysterious beyond until 5 of the cold times have passed.
Oh, now please, none of the Farwalkers want anything to do with me. I'll be alone and defenseless in the mysterious beyond. Is that really fair?
Yes!
5 years for kidnapping a little girl? Toronto, it could be a lot worse. So, with Toronto leaving to serve his punishment, you figured that'd be the end of the movie, right? Wrong. We get one more scene with the Rainbow Faces. And it's the worst thing in the movie. Like, they could have ended it with Toronto leaving. They could have had some little scene where the kid's just sitting on a hill waving goodbye or something. No, they had to have this one thing that is so stupid, just...
Oh, will you look at that?
What? Look at what?
That's right! It turns out they were aliens all along. The Land Before Time franchise officially has aliens in it. Which begs the question, what the hell were they even doing here? Never answered. That just makes this shit even more stupid and pointless!
It never was a stone of cold fire, was it?
No, but you see, the stone never really mattered. It's what you did to discover the truth about it. That is what's important.
But there was no truth! It was literally just a rock! Basically, everything that happened in the movie was pointless!
Hi, Littlefoot. What's going on?
Well, that would be telling, wouldn't it?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Littlefoot. Shut the fuck up. Seven down, 7 to go, right? I'll say this about Stone of Cold Fire. There are some good things in it. The animation got a lot better this time around. I noticed that in this movie, there's a lot of in-betweeners in this movie. As in, you know, there's always something on the screen that's moving from time to time. I really like it when 2D animated movies do that. Toronto's a kind of an interesting villain. Again, I do like watching this turmoil go on inside of him about doing the wrong thing for the right reasons kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of interesting to see. And again, this movie does take a few more risks than the other sequels have so far. I kind of like that. But let's face it, guys, this movie sucks. They're starting to get shitty. The last couple of sequels, for the most part, have been passable, but this kind of sucks. It's really bad. Land Before Time has officially jumped the shark. Aliens, magical rocks, let's face it, guys. From this point on, it's all downhill from here. And I still have 7 more movies to do. So, with that being said, yeah, Stone of Cold Fire, it sucks. My name is RaisorBlade, and as always, rock on.